What's going on, everyone? So I don't know. I don't know if I was live before. That's one of the things. Let me just make sure. I want to make sure that there are, you can actually comment. Okay, perfect. So I'm not gonna lie. I did a video already, just like this. I'm not sure if it was public or not because then when I looked back, I was like, this is private. So I apologize thoroughly. But basically what happened was I filmed a 45-minute video. I thought I was streaming. Apparently it was just private, and then on top of that, comments couldn't be made, which obviously I don't want that to happen. I want it to be where you guys can comment down below as well. But sorry for the exposition. So I have all your comments from before. Basically, what I did was I wrote it down because I'm old school like that, and I'm going to answer all of them. So I first wanted to say before doing that, thank you very much to everybody that took the time to ask these questions. I appreciate it. You guys are the reason why this channel, is the way it is. It's awesome. I am so glad everyone was able to be a part of this. So I'm going to answer all of your guys' questions starting now. So I'm going to start with Dorito Chip Gamer. So Dorito Chip Gamer has a bunch of questions. The first one, what movie YouTubers do you watch? Good question. So I watch a lot. The main ones I watch are Red Letter Media, Double Toasted, Deep Focus Lens, LC Screen Talk, Misfit Pond, Chris Duckman, Jeremy Jen, Ralph the Movie Maker, and a slew of others. I love a wide variety. What can I say? There are certain ones that are more inclined to being obviously independent filmmakers, that they review versus other ones are more mainstream. I try to watch both just so I can get the best of both worlds. Next, watch your favorite director. So my favorite director is David Fincher, hands down. He's just, what can I say? He's a genius. He is. He truly is. Um, the next one, favorite Best Picture winner. So I don't want to spoil anything because with the Academy Award Best Picture list that I've been doing, I am planning to do possibly a Best Academy Award Best Picture winners of all time. But what I will say is, my favorite Best Picture winner. It's tough, but it might be American Beauty or it might be like Schindler's List or Godfather. It's tough because I think so many of them are great that are some of my all-time favorites. But it's difficult. But I would say American Beauty or Schindler's List is a fair bet. I don't know which one. The Readership Gamer also asks favorite Paul Verhoeven film. I know I probably butchered that. I haven't seen that many of his movies, surprisingly, but I will say that my favorite of his, from the ones I have seen, is RoboCop. I need to watch more of his movies though, because again, I haven't even seen Basic Instinct, which I know it's a basic movie considering that many people have seen it, but what the heck? I think I started watching it the one time and I just never got around to finishing it, but I'll start from the beginning and watch it at some point soon. Dorito Chip Gamers, the last question. Will you ever do a top 30 movies of all time list? Yes. So this is something that a lot of people have been asking, not necessarily top 30, but a lot of people have been asking me, Chad, are you planning to do a top movies of all time list of yourself? I am. Originally, I wasn't. Originally, I was going to make it that I was unique where I didn't reveal that to my channel. But at the same time, I was like, if you guys want that, that's awesome. And at the same time, it comes down to my big thing with top movies of all time lists is that it's always changing. My top movies have changed so much. Like my top movie changed a couple years ago. It happens. But yes, that will be something that will be on the channel. Not necessarily 30, but it will happen. Marvel Fan 45 says, sup. Don't worry, Marvel Fan 45. You are, sorry, I have 2 pages. You're on the second page. So I will definitely answer your, let's see, 3 questions. I mean, technically, I already answered your one question, but I'll still answer it again. Next up is Mr. Movie Man. Mr. Movie Man asks, favorite horror movie? That's one of the hardest questions I think that someone can ask. Um, it's either The Shining or The Silence of the Lambs. I know some people are like, "Oh, The Silence of the Lambs isn't a horror movie," but it is considered a horror movie. If you look it up, it's considered like horror, thriller, police procedural movie. It's one of my all-time favorites. But again, The Shining also I think might be. I don't know. It's tough. That's why I'm like both of them. I don't know. It's difficult. I'll go with The Shining for now. EastTV asks a lot of questions, so I'll get to that. EastTV's first question: what is the most underrated horror movie? For me, it's going to be The Wailing. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be like, "Oh, how is it The Wailing?" I hadn't heard of The Wailing until around October of last year. Thank God for Letterboxd, because I was on Letterboxd and I was looking up horror movies, and someone was saying about how The Wailing is one of the best horror movies of all time, and I was like, okay, you hear about that with every single movie. But I watched it and I was like, yeah, this is spot on. This movie doesn't really get talked about. I really haven't seen that many people talk about it, unfortunately. It's an incredible movie. I think it's easily one of the best horror movies ever, maybe. I love it. I've seen it twice since October, and I can't get it out of my head. The imagery in that is outstanding. What is the most overrated horror movie? I would I would have to say The Grudge 2002. I saw that last year. No, yeah, last year, like December of last year. So it was still kind of recent. I watched it in preparation for the new Grudge. Now, I actually watched the one in between, the one that was like the American remake before the American remake of this year. I didn't like that one. I didn't like any of them, honestly. But the original The Grudge, the one that literally spawned a bunch of sequels, knockoffs, and everything, that one I didn't like either, which is a surprise because I love foreign films. But it wasn't scary. It wasn't creepy. I thought the story really felt kind of rehashed of other movies. It just wasn't that good, unfortunately. I think it's very overrated because a lot of people put it in high regards. What is your favorite action movie? So that's The Raid 2, hands down. It's incredible, honestly, to see like The Raid 2. I feel like if you like the John Wick movies, 100% you should watch it. It's outstanding. Before I answer ESTTV's other questions, Marvel fan 45 says the Wailing director hasn't made a bad movie. Shockingly, The Chaser is my favorite of his. You know what? It's funny you say that. I still need to watch The Yellow Sea, but I did see The Chaser a couple months ago. I forget Marvel fan 45 if you're on Letterboxd, but I did review The Chaser and I did like it. I didn't like it as much as The Wailing, but I did like it. And I will definitely be rewatching. It's a really good movie. Um, Back to ECTV. ECTV also asks, what are your two favorite comedy movies? So the first one's a no-go. It's a no-brainer. The Great Budapest Hotel. Absolutely adore that movie. One of my all-time favorite movies. Every single time I watch it, it puts a smile on my face, makes me laugh. It just gives you so many different emotions. But the big one is the laughs. And then the other one, I didn't think I would say this, but I think it is true. The Big Lebowski is probably my second one. Um, I love it. Like I'm not a stoner, but like I find the Big Lebowski's humor to be spot on. It's incredible. I love comedy that is smart, and I feel like the Big Lebowski focuses on a dumb character, but is very intellectually written, and I love it. I think the humor works so well with it. A couple more questions from ECTV. What is the best active screenwriter, 1980 to 2020? I would say Aaron Sorkin or Charlie Kaufman. It just depends on my mood. Like Charlie Kaufman is someone that if I'm in the mood to be depressed and also at the same time experience a movie that I've never seen before, I'll go with Charlie Kaufman, especially like being John Malkovich. But if I want like a fast-paced writing, snappy dialogue, I'll go with Aaron Sorkin because I love his style as well. I think those are two of the best, though, I would say. But again, there's so many great writers out there. Next up, HTTV asks if you could meet one director only, who would that be? 40 minutes to talk. What would the topics be? Excellent question. One of the best questions, honestly. You would think it'd be David Fincher because he's my favorite filmmaker, but no, Stanley Kubrick. Reason why I say Stanley Kubrick is because he's an incredible filmmaker, and it's not to say David Fincher isn't as well, but I feel like Stanley Kubrick's techniques are something that has never really been fully replicated. A lot of people try, but they don't fully succeed, and that's why I would love to just sit down with Stanley Kubrick and just pick his brain on how he made all these movies, because a movie like 2001: A Space Odyssey is incredible. The fact that the special effects, I know a lot of other people were involved with the special effects and that Kubrick got the most credit for, but hear me out. I still want to know how he did it and everything because it's a movie that easily could have been filmed a couple weeks ago based on like how well done it is in terms of the special effects. So I want to pick his brain. Just also how he can give me like guidance because again he's such a talented filmmaker. Couple other questions. EC2 asks, "What was your favorite actor?" Daniel Day-Lewis, no question. If you could have one small cameo in one movie only, in which movie would it be? Another great question. Originally, I was going to say Johnny Depp, in 21 Jump Street, just because that cameo was hilarious. But no, I'm going to instead go with a more serious role. I'm going to go with the helicopter operator in Ex Machina at the very end. Not going to spoil that movie, but at the very end of that movie, the helicopter operator, barely even see him, but he does play a pretty crucial role if you think about it. And that's the cameo I would want personally. What is your favorite actress? Kate Winslet or Scarlett Johansson? I'm leaning more towards Kate Winslet, honestly, because she's incredible. Scarlett Johansson is great too, but Kate Winslet is in so many versatile roles. I think she is phenomenal. The fact that she's not American and is able to just have such a natural American accent is incredible. I didn't realize that she's British. Like, it's incredible the fact that she's able to pull those American accents off so well. It's so easy for her. Incredible actress. Scarlett Johansson is great too as well. But I don't know. Kate Winslet, I think I'm leaning a little bit more towards. And then last question by ECTV. What is your favorite Steve Buscemi performance? Nuanced performance, I would go with Big Lebowski. Overall performance, though, I would have to go with Fargo, because that's the movie where I actually first noticed Steve Buscemi, and I was like, this guy is talented. And then I realized he was in Monsters Inc., which I had seen years before I finally saw Fargo, but so well talented. Before I get to the next people, let's see, 1 million subscribers with no videos, 80s Best Picture ranking. Yes, that will be coming out soon. So actually, I'm waiting on Misfit Pond. Misfit Pond is doing the 90s Best Picture ranking. So I try to have it every couple weeks, where I obviously release to you guys a video of the Best Picture winners ranking list. But I already have films of the 2000s with Sergey of Skynet Jam. And then LC Screen Talk, I also have that one. His part's filmed. I still got to film mine. So I'm just waiting for the 90s. Because I don't want you guys to have too much of a wait for the 90s one to come out. So maybe next week is when the 80s one will come out. But I already have it filmed. I had it filmed like weeks ago, honestly. That's the thing. My channel, I have a lot of videos that I have like just waiting to just release. So it's not that I'm falling behind. I have them already filmed. And then Bogatar Knight asks, hello there, General Chad. Well, thank you, Bogatar Knight. You will be, where do I have you? You're on the back of this page. You're coming up. Marvel Fan 45. Is your letterbox your channel name? Yeah, yes. It's lowercase though. It's all lowercase though, but it is Chad Saborn. I believe it's all the way. So there's no space, I believe. I can look at my phone in a second, but I just want to get through some of these other ones. Louis Schrager. Well, Louis Schrager is his username, but I know him as Louis. Louis Schrager asks, favorite guilty pleasure movie. A lot of movies I defend. I just love them. And I have like pretty good points. Like The Lone Ranger. I know a lot of people will be like, oh, that's a terrible movie. I actually think it's a good movie, and I will defend that to the day I die. That's a movie I defend. It's not a movie I think is a guilty pleasure. I genuinely think it's a good movie. There's really only one movie I can think of where I'm like, I know it's not a good movie, but I enjoy it nonetheless. And that is Robin Hood, 2018. The 2010 version by Russell Crowe, I actually think is a good movie, and I will defend that. But the 2018 one with Taron Egerton, I know it's not a good movie, but if you read and watch my review, I gave it a 3 out of 5. I found it enjoyable, even though it's not good. It's not good filmmaking. It's just a knockoff of, pretty much the Dark Knight trilogy, honestly. But good question. So next up, Jesus Perez, Misfit Pond. Jesus Perez asks, do you prefer art house independent movies to mainstream cinema? Oh boy, I better drink some water for this one. Yes. I say that. I'll say yes, but I do like to think that I watch a balance of both. Because hear me out. If you were to look at my movie collection, which again, I have like a couple hundred movies, not to pat myself on the back, but I do. It is pretty balanced. Like, I love art house movies and independent movies. Like, I would definitely say I prefer them, but I also am not like, oh, mainstream movies are terrible. I will say a lot of them aren't, but I'm not going to sit here and say I don't enjoy mainstream movies. I do. I do think that they are enjoyable. I do think that it's tough because it depends on my mood. I like both. I just don't like it when there's a whole war between the two, because if you were to ask me a year ago, I would say no. hands down, independent cinema is 1,000 times better than mainstream cinema. But mainstream cinema does have its perks in some regards. But I definitely 100% will take independent cinema over mainstream cinema. But again, I know I'm going on a rambling, but it's one of those. It's something I grapple with as a film buff, because I don't want to sit here and say one's better than the other because I'll watch both. When theaters open up, I'm going to see both in equal measures. Let me check the comment section. Paul Logan. Paul. Hey, Chad. What's up, late? You are, Paul. But thankfully, I haven't gotten to your questions yet. Your questions are right after Bogatar Night, honestly. So, you're good. Next up, Austria asks a couple questions. What are your 15 favorite movies of all time? I'm going to do a list. I'm not going to reveal that right now. I don't think it's something I can do in just one video like this, especially when I have so many questions. Just like with the top 30 movies, I'm going to be doing a list. I just haven't decided about the number. Don't worry, I will be doing that. Austria asks, what sequel movie do you prefer, but most people disagree with you on? Not necessarily something that I talk about people with, because in my circle of friends, nobody's seen this trilogy, but the Before trilogy is something that a lot of people I read online disagree with me about. A lot of people say Before Sunrise, the first one, is the best in the trilogy, and I personally think Before Midnight is the best. I think it's the most mature, it's the most well filmed, well acted. It's the one that is the climax while at the same time bringing together all the resonant themes. Again, a lot of people disagree with me, but I do prefer Before Midnight over it. So again, just unpopular opinion. Let me check the comment section real quick. Bogatron asks, "How are you?" I'm doing well, honestly. I'm doing pretty well, actually. I can't complain. Working from home, except for today. Obviously, I'm on vacation. Paul. Oh, he hates Jeremy Jen. Oh, I can respect that, Paul. Jeremy Jen is someone that I get annoyed the fact that he doesn't review any independent movies. But at the same time, I give him props that he reviews things that are up his alley. But I just feel like in terms of variety, it doesn't help. But again, I still like him. Like I do enjoy him. And same with Ralph. Ralph the Movie Maker he's so funny. He's actually the one that him and my one friend Ryan actually are the ones that got me to rewatch Mr. Robot, which is best decision I've ever made. One of them, at least. Okay, Bogota Night, you're up. I hope I'm saying that right. I apologize if I'm not. But Bogota Night, you're up. What's your favorite Robert Rodriguez movie? So I haven't seen that many of his movies. Honestly, a lot of people are probably going to shoot me down, but I haven't seen any of the Spy Kids movies. So bear with me on this. My favorite of his is Sin City. Sin City, I own on Blu-ray. I think it's a great movie. Very underrated. Nobody really talks about it for some reason. Really good movie. I am planning to try to maybe watch all Robert Rodriguez's movies because I do feel like I should. I owe it to him, considering I did Tarantino and I know they're best friends. So maybe I'll do that. And then Burgerton, I asked 3 movies that you like but wish other directors handled it. So I'm not going to lie, I kind of cheated. One of the movies I'm not the biggest fan of. I think it's okay, but I decided to say that there's a director that I thought would do better. The first one I'll say is that one. The one I think the movie's not that good. I think it's okay, but I think if a different director did it, it would be better. And that would be It. I think if It was done by James Wan, it would probably be a lot better. I think that the jump scares actually would be effective. I think the writing might have been a little bit better. But again, it's not a bad movie. I just think in terms of the director handling it, this one probably would have done it better. The other one is The Patriot. Roland Emmerich, nothing against him. I don't think he's that good of a filmmaker. The Patriot's his best work, hands down. But the thing is, I think that if Ridley Scott had done The Patriot, it'd be even better. I like The Patriot. I'm not going to sit here and say that I don't. I think that it is very, very flawed, for sure, kind of like Braveheart. But I think that it has enjoyment value. But I just think Ridley Scott would do a lot better. And then the third one, again, controversial, but come at me, guys. The third one is Joker. I wish David Fincher directed it. I like Joker. I own it on 4K. I think it's a very good movie. I understand the flaws, especially since I rewatched it. I watched Taxi Driver and then I watched Joker, and I was like, yeah, this is very similar to Taxi Driver. But I think if David Fincher had done it, it would have been even better. Again, good movie. I thoroughly like it, but holy cow. David Fincher directing that, hot take, probably would have been even better. Broken Tonight also asks, The Thing 1982 or Alien 1979? Alien 1979, hands down. I love The Thing, but I think Alien is a little bit more influential. And actually, Alien is what kind of inspired The Thing. I know that The Thing originally had a movie in, I believe it was the 50s, but I think Alien definitely influenced the remake, the 82 version. But again, they're both great movies. I own both of them. What is your favorite science fiction movie from the 1980s, 1990s? That would be Blade Runner. I love Blade Runner. I know so many people that for some reason now are coming out saying, "Oh, I didn't like it," but I love Blade Runner. I think Blade Runner is a great movie. And then Bogatar Knight asks, Coca-Cola or Pepsi? Neither. So I'm actually a health nut. I haven't eaten. I mean, not eaten. I haven't drank Coca-Cola or Pepsi or soda in general in like 10 years. I haven't touched it in 10 years. I stopped drinking coffee 4 or 5 years ago. I'm a health nut. I mean, right now, again, not product placement, but I'm drinking Owen. It's literally plant-based drink. I'm dairy-free. You wouldn't think it with this body, but I'm a pretty big health nut. I like exercise and I like, just trying to eat healthy. So I eat a lot of fish and chicken. So, yeah. So to answer your question, neither. Before I do, Paul Logan, you're up next. But before that, let me see. Marvel Fan 45. On my channel, I try to only review underrated independent type stuff unless I want to review something big that special day. But having a channel is fun either way. Yes, agree. Marvel Fan 45. I do agree with you. It's nice. There are some movies, I'm not gonna lie, I literally just reviewed because I was like, nobody really talks about this movie. Like I literally reviewed Happiness, the 1998 movie, because I was like, nobody's reviewed this movie. Nobody. This is a movie that should get out there. And so I reviewed it. And it has a couple hundred reviews. So for me, that's awesome. So I'm glad that people are like, hey, there's someone else that reviewed this movie. That's awesome. Same with the History of Violence. Nobody talks about that movie, but I'm like, here you go. Here's a review. So I like that you do that, Marvel Fan 45. Actually, I didn't even know you had a channel. So when I'm done with this, I will definitely subscribe. I didn't know you had a channel. I would have watched your stuff. So I apologize about that. Paul Logan, you're up next. Hope you're still watching. Paul Logan, have you ever made movies in the past besides Incisor? That's a good question. So story time. I took filmmaking as well as like broadcasting, a bunch of film related and TV classes in high school, and I made short films in high school. None that I'm really proud of, but I do look at them as stepping stones because I did learn, and at the same time, in early high school when I took the classes, I wasn't the film buff that I am now. I do think that with being a filmmaker, it is important to be versatile in film knowledge and just having seen a lot of movies because it's like anything. The more films you watch, the more knowledge you get and everything. And in early high school, I loved action movies. I loved Michael Bay. So that's how you know my mindset in early high school. So I did short films, and then in college, late college, a couple years ago, I helped my little brother with his filmmaking class, which I had obviously already taken, and I got better. And then my friends came to me and was like, "Hey, like, do you have any movie ideas?" And I came up with some, and then we made Incisor. And I'm planning to try to, make a couple other movies. I'm so nervous for you guys to see Incisor. Like, I'm happy for you guys to see it. I'll talk about it at the end of the video. I'm excited for you guys to see it, but also really nervous. But yeah, just short movies in like high school. And then my little brother when he was in high school a couple years ago. Paul Logan's last question: Have you ever? No. Have you got another job to do with filmmaking? No, actually, surprisingly not. Several years ago, I did try to get a job at a movie theater. Several movie theaters. They all turned me down. What can I say? And then I've tried a couple other jobs filmmaking, but I just haven't gotten an offer. So I decided to use 2015. I decided to get a YouTube channel because I was like, I have a voice, and I was doing a lot of written reviews, but it was on Facebook. It wasn't like this where I'm able to have this dialect. So unfortunately, to answer your question, no, but you live and learn. Next up, West Productions has a couple questions. What is your personal favorite movie of all time? Some people might not like this, but my favorite movie of all time is American Beauty. As of today, I love American Beauty. I think it's a great movie. I think it is a pitch perfect example of the balance of comedy and drama, which I always criticize in my reviews. But this movie does it perfectly. I know some people will balk at Kevin Spacey now, but you know what? That's his personal life. In terms of acting, his acting is off the charts in this movie. I am one of those people that I'm able to differentiate between personal life and, of course, their talent and artistic merits. That's just it. I did lose someone, so it looks like So I said Kevin Spacey. Someone's like, oh, I'm out. Next up, what movie do you hate, dislike that everyone loves? So usually, pretty much any Star Wars movie or a lot of Marvel movies. Actually, I don't want to say hate, but I just genuinely am not a big fan of those movies because they just feel very cookie cutter based. But in terms of actually outright hate, because with those movies, I get why people like them. I personally just think that they're okay. In terms of a movie I actually hate that everyone likes, Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th, I finally saw a couple years ago, and I actually thought it was terrible. I was surprised because so many people talk about it, so many people talk about that final twist, and I just wasn't a big fan of it. I just thought it didn't really work in the slightest. It's a shame because again, I know so many people that talk about it, and again, kind of like The Grudge, which what I talked about earlier. When a movie is a first in a franchise, you expect something to be like stand out of it, but it wasn't, unfortunately. In fact, it's something that I was watching. I was watching this movie, and I was like, there really isn't anything special about this movie. Even if I were to go back and watch it during this time period, like it literally felt like it was a knockoff of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which is one of my all-time favorite movies. So, yeah, long-winded for sure, but yeah. West Productions. What is your favorite actor? Daniel Day-Lewis. Love him. Awesome actor. Sad he's retired, but he's an incredible actor. Ben Burley, you're up next. Ben Burley is saying, is Tarantino overrated? No. Tarantino's not overrated. I do think he's a better writer than a director, although I think he has gotten better in terms of directing lately. The thing is with Tarantino is that because he's gotten better, I'm able to appreciate him more as a director. But if you were to ask, is he a good director? I would hesitate to say yes because I think he is kind of hit or miss in terms of that. But his writing is usually on point. But I like him. I like Tarantino. I actually did a ranking video of him. I like his work for the most part. Speaking of for the most part, next question: thoughts on Death Proof and Jackie Brown? I literally have written down they're so they're not necessarily bad. They're just okay. They're okay movies. It's like the type of situation you watch them and they're not offensive. They're there. They're the bottom of the barrel for me personally for Tarantino. Before I get to the next question, let me see the comment section. Mulholland Drive or Lost Highway? Oh, Bogota Night. Ooh. Paul Logan, Mulholland Drive, if literally the best movie though. Oh man, so like I like Lost Highway. I love it. Actually, I just bought it on Blu-ray the other day. I'm planning to rewatch it. Mulholland Drive, Mulholland Drive. Mulholland Drive. I love it. Mulholland Drive is one of my favorite movies of all time. Lost Highway, I've only seen it once, and that was like a year ago. I am planning to rewatch it. It's incredible. Let's see. Paul Logan, Mulholland Drive, if literally the best movie that it is. It is. It is. You're definitely going to see it on my top 50 movies of all time. I mean, not of all time. Top 50 movies of the decade because I'm planning to do 2000 to 2009 in two parts. Stay tuned for that. But Key in the building. Oh, Chad, just saying, hey, what's up, Nakia? Marvel fan, Mulholland Drive for me. Yeah. Paul Logan, let's go. Bogota Night. Lost Highway is my favorite Lynch movie, but love Mulholland Drive so much. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I did a ranking list for David Lynch, and David Lynch is just so talented. Again, he's done some movies I think are just okay, but when he is on point, man. He is awesome. I almost lost my spot. Skynet Jen, you're up next. So firstly, shout out Skynet Jen. You're actually doing the 2000s ranking list with me, so I already have that filmed and everything. But Skynet Jen asks, who or what inspired you to become a film critic, filmmaker? I have written down a multitude of reasons, and this is the reason why, the main reason. The movie Hannah. Movies are the reason why I got into this. I saw the movie Hannah from 2011, directed by Joe Wright. I absolutely hated it. I hated it so much that I wrote a review on how much I hated it, and that just kind of sparked the interest of actually writing down my thoughts on movies instead of just watching and saying, oh, I liked it, or oh, I disliked it, and actually rating them. Of course, years later, I rewatched Hannah. Now I love Hannah, but the reasons why I didn't like it during that time, I love it now. But Hannah, Skyfall, Lincoln, Zero Dark 30, those are the movies that influenced me in 2012. Because 2012 is when I started actually reviewing movies. So it's not necessarily someone or something. It's just these movies are what influenced me. And then as a filmmaker, it just kind of came with it because I had already done filmmaking. and I just always loved filming things. You know, it was just one of those things. I loved filming things, but I watched a lot more movies, so I started getting even better and better. And you know, I have an upcoming movie that's coming out in Sizer once we get in the green phase. So I'm excited to give it to you guys. Nervous, but excited. So good question, Skynet Jen. I apologize for being long-winded. Oh boy, next one is tough, but let me see first. Marvel Fan 45. I got a pretty unique favorite films list compared to everyone else. I'm going to make a video soon and love Lynch knowing. Yes. Doritos Chip Gamer, hey man. Yeah, Doritos Chip Gamer. You were the first person that I actually did all your I answered all your questions. You were the first couple minutes of this stream actually. So definitely check that out. But next question, Thomas J. Calderon is calling me out. Calling me out. Thomas J. Calderon asks, how come you only gave Soviet Masterpiece Come and See a 3.5 on Letterboxd? Well, so it came out on Criterion recently. Before it was on Criterion, my friends and myself wanted to watch it. My friend has a pretty much like a movie theater household experience, and we downloaded it. I know it's illegal, but whatever. What are you going to do? We downloaded it in 360p quality. So you're watching a 360p quality movie, and you know, it's very old, it's foreign, so it's just one of those things that just piled up. I love foreign movies. You know, I love slow burn movies too. But when you're watching 360p quality, the ability of being able to appreciate it kind of lessens. It's a movie I do want to rewatch because I remember really respecting the craftsmanship, but I just feel like there was just so many factors as to why I didn't fully appreciate the movie. I know if I were to rewatch it, I would really like it, but again, I think it's just the quality. And I know I shouldn't be blaming that because it's like, oh, well, why would you rate it? I saw it, so I put it on Letterboxd. But I do respect that movie. Like I've seen Misfit Pond, Carlos from Misfit Pond. He reviewed it recently, and I was like, yeah, I need to rewatch this movie. And now that it's on Criterion, I definitely need to rewatch it. I'm excited to rewatch it, honestly. So sorry. I still think 3.5 out of 5 is not a bad rating. I remember people were like, when I did my video for Portion Relate on Fire, people were like, oh, it's too low. You got to rewatch it. I'm like, what's wrong with 3.5 out of 5? You know? You guys. Meshkat Zaman asks, is there any possibility of Jim Jarmusch, Richard Linklater, Francis Ford Coppola ranking videos? Absolutely. You know, I don't want you guys to think that your requests go unannounced. It's one of those things where if you go to my Letterboxd, you'll see like, oh, 45 lists that Chad has. I actually have like almost 100 ranking lists on Letterboxd, but I have most of them private. Richard Linklater and Francis Ford Coppola are two of those directors that I have their lists private. The reason for that is because I haven't finished it, and also I haven't uploaded the videos. I have a couple more Richard Linklater movies to watch before, obviously, filming the video and then posting it. And then Francis Ford Coppola, I have a long way. I've seen only like 6 out of his, I think it's like 19 videos. I mean, movies, excuse me. So, and then Joe Jarmusch, I didn't even know about him until I saw The Dead Don't Die because I didn't see Patterson and I didn't know that was his movie. So I hope he hasn't done a lot of movies because if so, I have a lot to do. So, but yeah, to answer your question, I definitely will be doing these directors. Oh wow, so I have wow. All right, so I'm done that. So I have one more page. Before I do that page, the Rita Chip Gamers. Hey man, oh shoot, sorry. Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine, man. Like I said, I had issues with this with setting this up earlier, just because I literally did a 45-minute stream and then I realized that it was private and that there wasn't any comment section. I was really annoyed by that because I was like, bro, the whole thing with the stream is that it's fun if there's comments. You know, if there's no comments, it's like no. So it's all good though. Glad that you're a part of this. Paul Logan, you should do more live streams. Thanks, man. I just don't really do them just because it's like I feel like again, I had some issues with like the whole comments. Like if you were to look at my live stream from the Oscars, I wanted there to be so many people involved, especially when you look at 1,100 views. I wanted there to be so many people interactive, but I didn't for some reason. And then I realized, like again today, oh, it's because for some reason I had the comments off. There's this whole thing now that they have like the Children's Act or whatever it is. So again, I feel like an old man saying that, but yeah, I'll try to do more live streams. Marvel Fan 45, Lars von Trier is my favorite director to give you an idea of my film taste. Holy cow. I dig it, man. I dig it. Lars von Trier, like I said, so many people have asked me to do his videos. I mean, his ranking list, I should say. I 100% am doing that. If you like, again, that's one of the directors that on Letterboxd I have as private. I've seen I think like 11 out of his 15 movies or something like that. So I don't have that many more of his movies to watch. Sorry, I just need some water. Get long winded. Dorita Chip Gamer, thanks for answering my question, Chad. Sorry I couldn't be here for long. I don't know, man. You're fine. Again, I still have more questions to ask. I have like I still have a couple more questions. I have Marvel Fan 45, which actually Marvel Fan 45 just commented. I actually watched all his movies and did a ranking on my channel. He made my favorite films of all time. Oh, awesome! Like I said, after I'm done this, I'll definitely subscribe. Just because, again, I didn't know. For some reason, I just didn't think that. So I apologize. Marvel Fan 45, he asks, speaking of which, what films do you consider overrated? A lot of movies, all Star Wars movies, pretty much, and then a lot of Marvel movies, at least half of them. Mary Poppins Returns as well, Creed 2, King's Speech, Argo, Breaking the Waves, Death Wish, 1974. All overrated, in my opinion. Who's your favorite director? I did answer that earlier, but I can say it again because I can talk about him all day. David Fincher. I love David Fincher. Easily one of the best of all time. My personal favorite. I think so many people, berate CGI, but they don't understand it's a tool. And it's like when you have a filmmaker like David Fincher that is able to literally put on screen all of the CGI and you not even realize it, that's incredible. Like he has more VFX than a movie like Pacific Rim or Man of Steel or movies like that. That's insane. But you wouldn't think about it. You wouldn't know it. An example, the thing that always comes back to me that I think is amazing, like I've seen The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, the 2011 film, so many times. And I never once thought that the scene where, again, it's not really a spoiler, but the scene where Mikhail got, like shot and he's like bleeding. And, what's her name? Oh, I can't believe it. It's one of my favorite movies, and I don't remember her character name now. Elizabeth, my mistake. When Elizabeth is getting the floss and she's like, trying to sew it up and there's like blood, I didn't realize that was CGI 100%. That's insane. That's insane. That's why he's my favorite director. I just think he's so talented. Marvel Fan 45, last question. What's the most beautiful film you've ever seen? Oh, man, that's tough. So many movies. I think Blade Runner 2049 is beautiful. I think The Tree of Life's beautiful. Once Upon a Time in America, to an extent, is very beautiful. A lot of movies I think are beautiful. I will say I have written down, it's the movie I'll probably go with right now, The Thin Red Line. I think The Thin Red Line is probably the most beautiful movie I've seen as of right now. It's just so gorgeous. Like, I think the symbolism behind it's incredible. Like, I don't really do analysis videos. I don't want you guys saying, oh, he doesn't like doing them. I love doing them, but it's like I feel like it's just one of those things where it gets kind of tense with a lot of people. Like a lot of people don't understand that filmmaking is all about interpretation. But my interpretation of The Thin Red Line is this. I think the first 30 minutes, it's very calm, it's very beautiful and elegant because it's representing the calmness of what the land is like and these people on the land when there isn't war. And then all of a sudden the craziness of when war happens. And I think that it's so potent. It's why it's my favorite war movie. I think it's just so potent. And the rest of the movie is beautiful too. Even the action scenes, dealing with war are very elegant and very beautiful, as strange as that may sound. But yeah, I love it. Rich Reviews is next. But before I do that, let me check. Paul Logan, yes, Star Wars is kind of overrated. Yeah, Star Wars is 100% overrated. Paul Logan, Wes Anderson Beauty. Wes Anderson Beauty. Do I think Wes Anderson's beautiful? I think his movies are beautiful. Yeah, Grand Budapest Hotel is very beautiful. It's up there too. I don't know why even. I think it's just because I'm trying to also have some variety. But yeah, he's definitely up there. Marvel Fan 45. Contrary to my name, I don't like the Marvel movies. I don't know if you follow. Oh yeah, no, you do follow me on Letterboxd. I recently rewatched the first Avengers. I just thought it was okay. I remember really liking it. I thought it was just okay. And then I rewatched Black Panther, which I like. I think that's a standout for sure. And then I watched Infinity War, which I actually liked a lot. I liked a lot more than I did the first time. And then Endgame, I really like. Endgame is probably my favorite Marvel movie. Um, Contrary to my name, I don't like the Marvel movies. Yeah, I get that. Sorry, I know I just answered that. All right, now Rich Reviews. Rich Reviews is last. Rich Reviews asks, there's 7 questions. What books have you recently read? None. I actually haven't read any books recently. I'm definitely more of a viewer than like a reader. Number 2, have you met any celebrities? No, but I almost met Bradley Cooper. So funny story. So again, story time with Chad again. So I was at AMC and I remember A Star Is Born was coming out and they had like an early screening. I decided not to though because at the time, my girlfriend she did not want to watch, which is funny because several months later we ended up watching A Star Is Born. But so we saw A Simple Favor instead, which I enjoyed. But I went to get her Sour Patch Kids. Never forget, I went to the stand and after I got it, I looked and I saw there were posters off to the side. There was someone, with posters and everything. And I jokingly said, I was like, why are you giving out posters? Like, the movie's not out yet. Just a, small talk. And the guy's like, oh, well, we're hosting the movie, like, early screening and Bradley Cooper's in there. I'm like, Bradley Cooper's in there? He's like, yeah. So, curiosity got the best of me. I went into the theater. I think it was the Dolby Theater. And I saw a little bit of Bradley Cooper, not enough because it was such a big crowd. Like, it was fully crowded. But that was my closest encounter with a celebrity. Who knows? If I saw A Star Is Born, maybe I actually would have gotten to meet him. I probably would wait in line for him. He's a great actor. But that's my closest encounter with a celebrity. Number 3, ever walked out of a movie? Yeah. So I'm disappointed to say this, but the only movie I've ever walked out of, even though I've seen so many terrible movies, I walked out of 20th Century Woman. I know. Oh no, 20th Century Woman, I think it's called. I'm disappointed to say that because I do think that that's a good movie in retrospect. It's just at the time I recently had seen Silence, and then I went from Silence to then going into 20th Century Women. And at the time, 4 years ago when I saw it in theaters, it was like I took it as it was like a man-hating movie, which again, my views have changed a lot on the movie and just in general in life. So I look at it now and I'm like, wow, Chad, that was pretty sexist. But I just didn't want to deal with that, so I just walked out. And I wish I didn't because I rewatched it and I did think it was a good movie. So people learn, people change, and it's a shame really because again, I saw Transformers 4 and I didn't walk out in theaters. How? What is your favorite film festival? I've never been to a film festival, but if I were to go to one, it would be Sundance. I like the idea of seeing a bunch of movies that are coming out later on in the year without any, audience feedback or, critic reception. You're going in completely 100% open-minded. So that's me personally. I would love to go to Sundance. Number 5, what is your most disappointing video that you wish you could redo? So speaking of learning, I talked about 20th Century Women, how my views have changed a lot. I did a video, 2015 worst films list video, and there, excuse me. Let's just say there's a couple things I said in that video that haven't really aged well. I just I can't. I can't. Like it's one of those things where you watch my 2015 ranking video of the films from that year, from the worst films. I'm proud of the video for the most part, but there's a section where I talk about Sofia Vergara, and I wish that I didn't talk about her like that way because it's borderline racist. Actually, I'll go so far as to say it is racist, and it's one of those things where I'm like, at the time I defended it, now I'm looking back, I'm like, no, Chad, you shouldn't have had that. That was uncalled for. But again, I apologize. What can I say? I do apologize. Next one, number 6. What would you rather see a reboot of The Crow, Darkman, or Spawn? None. Actually, I haven't seen any of them. For some reason, I just haven't. I think that they're all Alex Perley movies, I believe that they're called. I don't know why I haven't seen them, to be honest. It's weird. because again, I like Alex Proyas. I think Dark City is a very underrated movie. I just for some reason never got around to watching them, but I am planning to at some point because I do think that he is someone that has he has a vision, and I'm all about filmmakers that have a vision because I feel like so many times filmmakers their vision's not able to get out there, they feel very cookie cutter for the masses, think Joe Johnston of Jurassic Park 3. Just someone like that. It's just kind of really, I don't know. Sorry, I'm looking at the comments. I noticed two of them got taken out. I just want to make sure they're not likely spam. Maybe they just got taken down. All right, whatever. Yeah, because it said because Paul Logan has two messages retracted. I don't even know. No, man, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Last question, number 7. Worst theater and worst theater experience. Worst theater. There was a theater in New Jersey that I went to when I saw True Grit for the first time in January of 2011. It was terrible. It was terrible because there were 2 seats here, 2 seats there, 2 seats there. It was just all over the place. There wasn't any cohesiveness to why everything was seated the way that it was. I didn't like it. My friend John, who lives in Jersey, and I saw True Grit with, apparently said that theater is no longer there. Makes a lot of sense considering that it made no sense as to why they had it all set up that way. But whatever. And then worst theater experience, that would have to hands down go to the Lego Movie Part 2. So the Lego Movie Part 2, when I saw it in theaters, it was an early screening, which was awesome. The thing with it is that I love early screenings. I love the fact that you see a lot of people in the theater, but at the same time they're all there for the same reason: calm, relaxing experience, just getting to see it with no bias. But the Lego Movie Part 2, for some reason, don't ask me why, for some reason there was a lot of kids. I get it. The Lego Movie Part 2 is a kids movie, but there were so many kids, and they couldn't shut up at all. It was crazy. And it was just so loud. I couldn't focus whatsoever on the movie. I gave it a passing rating, but it was just it just ruined the experience overall for me. Also, a little bit of shout out. The Lighthouse was also a pretty bad movie experience. I love that movie. I love it to no end. But there was a couple people behind my girlfriend and myself, and of course, it was their first art house movie. They were asking questions throughout. And it's bro, maybe you shouldn't be watching this movie if you have this many questions, or maybe you should just wait until there's a commentary so the director can spoon feed you. Maybe. And then also Lion. For some reason, the movie Lion with Dev Patel, I had two older ladies sitting to the left of me giving a commentary about Dev Patel and how hot he is. Maybe you should wait until you're at home in your own place to do that. But all right, so those are all the questions. That was Rich Review's final question. Let me see. So I see there's a couple more things. Paul Logan says, "No man, question mark." I don't know. Paul Logan also asks, "Is your wife an incisor?" So, good question. So I usually don't get personal on YouTube. I try to keep it at distance, but actually I'm not married. My girlfriend, I've actually been dating my girlfriend. Her name is Nicolette for 4 years now. Believe it or not, a little over 4 years. We are planning to get engaged soon, and then marriage, within a year after. So, it's pretty awesome. Not gonna lie, she's not in the movie because she's camera shy. She did help out a little bit with the cinematography. I had a couple, actually, I shouldn't say a couple. I had 7 camera operators to help out. She was one of them. She did help out for a little bit, but she's camera shy, so she probably won't even be in my next movie, which I can respect. But her siblings did help out, which was nice. Let's see. Marvel Fan 45. Art house movies are my jam. Climax is my 3rd favorite movie of all time. So kind of Come and See and Portrait of a Lady on Fire. Climax is actually on my Amazon Prime list. I'm actually looking at it right now on my TV. That's actually one of the movies that I am planning to rewatch because I gave it a 3.5 out of 5-star rating, which means I thought it was solid. I thought it was well crafted for the most part, but I do need to rewatch it. I do give you props for that as your 3rd favorite movie of all time. I can definitely respect that. I will say the theater experience for Climax was awesome. There was one other person, so I was able to fully immerse myself in that movie. Let's see. Paul Logan, I love how your name is Marvel fan, but your favorite movie is Climax. Yeah, that is pretty funny. I am curious, Marvel Fan 45. Why is your name Marvel Fan 45 on YouTube? Was it the type of thing where you when you first created your channel on YouTube, like you were a huge Marvel fan? Because if so, I totally get that. Um, 2015, one of my first reviews, I reviewed Ant-Man. I gave it 4 out of 5. Looking back, I'm like, that was kind of a joke. I don't know why I gave it that high rating, especially given a higher rating than Climax. Let's see, Marvel Fan 45. Third favorite film I've seen is 6 times now. Wow, I do need to rewatch it then. Um, that's crazy. Let's see, Marvel Fan 45. Yeah, I was a huge Marvel fan, and now my favorite film is now Nymphomaniac Volume 1 and 2. Oh wow, you know what? I can dig that. I finally saw those movies. I finally had the gall to watch those movies. I watched them. Let's see. I think it was December. Actually, it was shortly after Christmas. A couple days after Christmas, I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to watch these movies. And I gave them both a 3.25 out of 5 star rating. But I'm not going to lie, they are good movies. And I say that because for me, they kind of were borderline a little bit too artsy for the sake of artsy. I love artsy filmmaking, but it felt a little bit too much like that. But again, I have much respect for it. I love the fact that Lars von Trier literally has that montage scene with all the penises. Again, I'm not gay, but I think that scene is so unique that I'm just kind of like, you know what, Lars von Trier, throw it in there. I don't care, just throw it in there. That's unique. Nobody's ever done that in the thousands of movies that I've seen. I've never seen that until Nymphomaniac was like, you know what, here you go, Chad. Here's like an image of mine. I'm like, wow. I thought Shame was graphic. Whatever. Marvel Fan 45. Yeah, I've got a deeper connection with them than everyone else. Yeah, no, I get that, man. It's kind of like American Beauty. Like, I'm sure a lot of people don't understand my connection with American Beauty, but I do have a pretty deep connection with American Beauty, honestly. I watched it in all the right parts of my life. I just graduated high school the first time I saw American Beauty, and it really resonated with me. That whole like midlife crisis. Again, I was 18 when I first saw it, so I wasn't a midlife crisis, but you get what I'm saying. West Productions, not sure if you answer this, but what's your favorite A24 movie? Oh man, that's a good question. I do have a list, and actually, Paul Logan, I think you're the one that commented on my A24 movies ranked list. And I apologize for not commenting back. I actually have it where you could see it on Letterboxd. I'm pretty sure my favorite right now is Ex Machina. I think it's Ex Machina. No, I think it's actually Moonlight. I think it's Moonlight. I actually need to check. Sorry, I'm on my phone right now. Let me see. I believe it might be Moonlight actually. But I love A24 movies. I've seen like over half of their movies. I think that they are incredible. There's some that are missed, but you know what? That's kind of like every company. It's like if someone's a Disney fanboy, I'm sure that there's some that they don't like. Probably the ones that are actually groundbreaking. Well, actually, there aren't that many groundbreaking. Whatever. You know what I'm saying, guys. Moonlight. So I had Moonlight as my number one, which, again, any of my top 5, like my top 5 right now is Moonlight, Ex Machina, Hereditary, The Witch, and Uncut Gems. But I also have The Lighthouse up there, Enemy, Killing of Sacred Deer. Listen, Paul Schrader's First Reformed, I don't know why I have it a little bit lower. It'd probably go a little bit higher because I did like that movie. But again, also keep in mind I have Climax a little bit lower, so I need to rewatch them. I like them. Let's see. Oh, Paul Logan then asks, my parents watched Killing of a Sacred Deer and thought it was artsy for the sake of it. What do you think? Absolutely disagree. Absolutely 100% disagree. That movie had to be artsy. If that movie was directed in any other way, I don't think it would have worked as well as it did, because that movie is Greek tragedy. In the same way The Lighthouse is directed the way it is, I feel like Killing of Sacred Deer is also like that, where it's like if it wasn't directed in that artsy kind of way, it wouldn't have worked as well with really diving down into those messages and themes. And that's why to Paul Logan, with what I was saying to you about First Reformed, that's why I want to rewatch First Reformed, because maybe I just wasn't in the right mindset I just remember thinking it was kind of odd. I kind of understood why he was levitating. Literally, there's a scene where he levitates, but I need to rewatch it. Again, I have it on my Amazon Prime list, so I can watch it, but I do need to rewatch it because I respect it. Raphael Lanzano Ramsey. Yes, favorite films of all time. I know. There's so many, I didn't realize how many people want that. Man, guys, I'm going to get so much hate. Ugh, I'm down for it. I'm down. West Productions, it's pretty hard to rank them because they're all so good. Yeah, no, it's true. 100%, it's true. Um, A24 is so consistent. It's kind of crazy the fact that their first movie was Spring Breakers, which is I don't think it's bad, honestly. Actually, that director's follow up on Beach Bum I think is also pretty enjoyable. Paul Logan says, "Yeah, I do too." Yeah, no, I get that. Um, the thing with A24 also is that they're just so consistent. Like even I think the lowest movie I've given them is like a 2.5 out of 5, which for me really 2.5 out of 5 is hit or miss. There are some movies I've given a 2.5 out of 5, and I'm still like, this is entertaining. Question. Sorry, I just got to drink my water. Rafael Lanzano Ramsey asks, "What did you think of the King of Staten Island?" So not gonna lie, I haven't seen it yet. So my one friend actually he rented it, and he literally gave me all his information and said, "Okay, like you have 48 hours to watch it." And instead of watching it, my girlfriend and myself we watched the entire Toy Story quadrilogy. So priorities. I'm planning to watch King of Staten Island. It just I've been putting it off because I'm like, in the back of my mind, I know you're not supposed to like go into movies like with prerequisites, but I already am kind of like it's a Judd Apatow movie, so like I know I'm gonna enjoy it, but I also know I'm gonna have my issues with it. But I will be watching it. See, the Five Bloods I saw too. I didn't see King of Staten Island, but the Five Bloods I did see. I have it on Letterboxd, but I actually haven't reviewed it. I need to do that though. I do. So yeah, well, you guys have that review. Um, Marvel Fan 45. I'm checking out Dogtooth soon, and Climax is their favorite film, and I haven't seen it on big screen yet. Oh, you didn't get Marvel Fan 45. You didn't get to see Climax on big screen? That was an experience, man. That was an experience. Dogtooth, Dogtooth's good. I think with Yorgos Lanthimos, I think that he's one of those filmmakers where, again, with his work that I've seen, I am going to be doing a ranking video of his once I've seen his earlier work. I have, I think, 3 other movies of his to watch. But he's a director that each movie gets better from me. You have Dogtooth, I thought was good. Lobster, I thought was better. And then I thought Killing a Sacred Deer was like really good. And then I thought Favorite was just incredible. Masterpiece, even. Close to it at least. Marvel Fan 45, but I'm buying the DVD soon to watch it on big screen soon. Marvel Fan 45, I would recommend you actually buying the Blu-ray. The Blu-ray is 1080p quality versus 480p quality. So with Climax, with that cinematography, you want to see it on Blu-ray, man. You want to see it in HD. It's great. Paul Logan, nah, man, it's not worth it. I wonder if that was someone else. Rafael Lanzano Ramsey. It's a little too long, but only did Pete Davidson do well. That's the thing. That's what I was talking about. I know what I'm getting myself into with Judd Apatow. Judd Apatow is the director of King of Staten Island, and his movies are a little too long. So like because his movies are structured in a way, it's my biggest issue with comedies. Honestly, my biggest issue, as you probably guys all know, so I apologize if I'm jerk myself off at this point. But my big thing with Judd Apatow and other comedies in general is that they have 2 acts where they're trying to be really funny, and then they have that final act where all of a sudden it gets really serious. And that's Judd Apatow in a nutshell. And Raphael, you can attest to this, I'm sure. But I'm sure the King of Staten Island is like that. Paul Logan. Oh, I thought it was King of Staten Island because that movie is not worth it. Climax is. Oh yeah, Climax. I need to rewatch Climax. I'm realizing that I need to rewatch Climax. I'm surprised none of y'all are getting on me for Portrait of a Lady on Fire. When that movie came out, everyone was like, "Oh my goodness." Marvel Fan 45. I gotta go. Great stream, and my Letterboxd is my favorite film list. I'm Jack Burton. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stay safe and have a good day. Let me see. Oh yeah, I do see Jack. I'll follow you back, man. I will, and also again, I will subscribe to you. I apologize. West Productions, what's your opinion on the 40-Year-Old Virgin and Knocked Up? The 40-Year-Old Virgin, so there's again, it's not 100% rated, but I there's a record store near my place, about 20 minutes, and they sell Blu-rays for a couple bucks. And I picked up the 4-year-old virgin, and I liked it. I sold it back. I like it. I think it's enjoyable, but again, it kind of like other comedies, it does have that issue where you have it be funny for 2/3 of the way, and then the final act gets super serious. Same with Knocked Up. I think both movies, their heart's in the right place. They are pretty funny, but they do at the same time fall under weight of certain issues where it just kind of gets a little tricky with balancing the tones and the pacing. Marvel Fan 45, it's fine, dude. Raphael Lozano, Ramsey, what'd you think? Oh, Fargo, just watched the film and it is my favorite of all time. Yes! Fargo is great, man. Actually, I'm looking at my Blu-ray queue right now, and I had the Fargo TV show as well, the first 2 seasons, because the third, for some reason, didn't go on Blu-ray, just DVD. I love Fargo. Fargo is a great movie, man, and it's fast. Fast in that it's only 95 minutes, so it's great though. Holy cow! Watch the show too, Raphael. If you like the movie, watch the show too. The first season of Fargo ties in beautifully with the movie. It's awesome. You really should watch it. I believe, I'm trying to think, I think it's on Netflix right now in America. I don't know about, I'm trying to think what region you're in. I don't know if you're in America too, because I know that some of my subscribers are from other countries as well. So I don't know if it's in like UK of Netflix, but definitely North America. It's on Netflix. Oh yeah, what do you think of The Man Who Wasn't There? The Man Who Wasn't There is good. I first saw that movie last year, the beginning of last year, in preparation for my Coen Brothers ranking list. I liked The Man Who Wasn't There. I thought it was good. A little slow, for a little slow in regards to like what it was trying to go about, but I liked it. I thought it was good. Raphael Lozano, Ramsey. All right, well, thanks for the recommendation. Absolutely, man. Also, I wanted to let you guys know, because I know obviously you guys probably subscribe for my reviews for films as well as ranking lists. I'm surprised. I'm actually very, very happy that you guys love my ranking list, because it's awesome. It's awesome that it's like you guys have something to look forward to. Like, I'm gonna try to be consistent with that, where it's like every couple weeks I'll release it. Like right now, let me check my my videos just so you guys have stuff to look forward to. I have in the queue, I have the 1980s ranking list that will be coming out soon. Alfonso Cuarón films ranked worst to best. I have that private right now. I have Adam McKay, James Wan, and then also I have the movie that I did, Incisor, and the bloopers as well. So yeah, so I just looked at that. So, but yeah, I want to talk about the movie that I did, guys. So I know I kept it from you guys for a while, but yeah, the past 6 months, December 8th to I think it was May 27th, I filmed the movie, and it's 86 minutes long, not long at all. So I do hope you guys are able to watch it when I post it. I'll obviously post it for you guys for free. The thing is with the movie, I am curious to hear your guys' thoughts, because I'm nervous though, because I am obviously on YouTube criticizing movies, and yet I'm giving you guys a movie where it's like I'm sure that there's going to be some criticisms, but at the same time, I do hope that there's constructive criticism, because I do want to learn as a film buff and filmmaker, and I'm just glad that you guys are watching everything. I also wanted to say, again, if you guys want, I'll obviously post the bloopers for the movie. There's also a behind the scenes video I filmed and everything I might post. So just depends on what you guys want. Let me see. A couple other ones. Let me see. Paul Logan. What do you think of Lahane? I'm about to have a double feature between it and Do the Right Thing. That's a good question. Not gonna lie, Lahane I thought was just solid, but it's one of those movies that marinated. I don't know if you've experienced this, Paul, but sometimes when I watch a movie, I'll think it's just solid, and then I'll think about it. It's stuck in my memory, and I think about it more and more, and that's Lahane. I think Lahane's a solid movie, but I'm sure if I watched it, I would love it even more. And then Do the Right Thing, I've only seen once, and that was 5-6 years ago. I liked it though. I really liked it. I think it's very well done. I think especially in this time that we're all in, not to get political, but I do think that in the time that we're in right now, I think it's a very timely movie. Um, West Production just recently watched Inside Llewyn Davis, and the main wasn't there. They were very good. They're up there with some of my favorite Coen Brother movies. Completely understand. They're good. They're good. I like them both. Paul Logan, Can't Wait. Will it be on YouTube? Yes. I'll be posting the movie on YouTube for you guys to watch for free. I have a copyright claim because I used music from Suspiria for the end credits, just because I had other music where I could have, had it where, I could have gotten maybe some like money from it, but I was like, you know what, this song is perfect for the end credits, so I'm going with it. So I am posting on YouTube for you guys to watch. It might, again, I know I'm probably preaching to the choir, but I'm pretty sure it goes to 1080p, but I shot it in 4K, so the higher the resolution, the better, especially because, and if you guys are Game of Thrones fans, I'm sorry to say this, but you might be experiencing this again. I filmed scenes in the dark towards the end of the movie, and I would highly, highly recommend you watch it with the lights completely off for the best experience and in 4K. Just saying. If you watch it in 480p or 1080p, you might not get all the, obviously the things that were intended for me as a filmmaker to show you guys. So, yeah, just letting you guys know. Raphael, yes, the Coen Brothers are really some of the best filmmakers. Absolutely agree. I think it's kind of crazy with what they've been able to accomplish. Like, I forget who said it on here, but someone said they weren't the best. Oh, no, not here. Letterboxd, because I just reviewed 310 to Yuma, and someone said they weren't a big fan of the Coen Brothers. I think the Coen Brothers personally are really good filmmakers. I think some of their work is on the lesser end, like Hail Caesar, that was just okay. But they always bring their A game. Consistently they give you a lot of talented actors doing what talented actors do best, and that's give quirky performances that really resonate with an audience. Like if you watch Fargo or Big Lebowski, those characters, those are incredible characters. Same with No Country for Old Men. No Country for Old Men's a great movie. It's so outside their box, but it's awesome. Paul Logan, yeah, totally. They're sometimes a bit preachy on subtle. Yeah. Well, Paul, yeah, if you're talking about the Coen Brothers, I can kind of get what you're saying. I just like them personally a lot. Like, I know every filmmaker is not going to be for everyone. Like, there's some people that don't like Nolan, and their criticisms I completely understand. The same with Lars von Trier. Lars von Trier, there are a lot of people that like him. There's also a lot of people that hate him. I have a friend who's like a huge film buff. He's actually going to film school, and he hates Terrence Malick, but he hasn't seen a single one of his movies. And it's like, bro, give him a chance. I believe you should give every filmmaker a chance, because you don't know if you're going to like something unless you actually give it a chance. So. But yeah, I'm trying to think of other stuff to keep you updated, guys. Yeah, so you guys know the videos that are going to be coming up in terms of director ranking videos. I'm going to try to do some reviews of like certain movies. Excuse me. Paul Logan, no, I love them, but like some of their themes are a bit obvious. I get that. I recently saw A Brother Where Art Thou again, and I liked it. I didn't like it as much, but I will agree with you. Like a movie like that, I do think was a little bit too on the nose. Again, I like it, but it's not like True Grit. I think is so underrated. I think that movie is criminally underrated. I know, it got 10 Oscar nominations, but nobody talks about it. Nobody talks about it. It's a shame. Sorry, I thought there was another comment. But yeah, so yeah, you guys will be seeing director ranking list. I'm not going to change that, although I am going back to work. Like in Pennsylvania, we are the green area was actually today. We're in the green zone, so I will be going back to work. I think next week. So I'm still going to try to film like a lot of videos and everything, so that way I can get it out to you guys. But there might not be as many. I might spread it out across a little bit. Just really depends if we go back to movie theaters coming back, which I hope they do. I'll try to keep up with reviews. It's just difficult. Like now that there's so many streaming services, it's tough to keep up with, man. It's like when you go to a theater, it's like, okay, I'm here. I may as well see 2 or 3 movies, so it's a lot easier. But yeah, so you guys will be seeing the director ranking list. I know I'm repeating myself, Any TV shows I watch, once I finish them, I'll then do a quick non-spoiler review for that. I'll try to do some movie reviews. Maybe I'll do a movie review. Like someone, I think it was actually Paul. It might have been you, Paul, that actually said it. But Eternity's Gate, I might actually review. I need to watch it first, but it's a movie I've been meaning to watch for a while. It didn't reach theaters near me in Pennsylvania. Well, I'll definitely try to watch that soon. Maybe I'll do a review for it. I'll try to also do like a review. Like I might be watching like Eastern Promises. Maybe I'll review that or something. Um, but yeah, guys, that's production. I totally agree. I also just watched True Grit for the first time, and I loved it. I felt like Haley Steinfeld deserved the Oscars. Yes, the Oscars were strange that year. You know what? Let me start on a rant. Sorry, Wes, you started something. So, 2010 Oscars. You had incredible nominations. You really did. What did the Oscars do? They gave all of the wrong awards to the wrong people. Look, I know the awards are subjective, but King's Speech over Social Network? Nah. Melissa Leo for The Fighter over Haley Steinfeld? Nah. There's just a lot of decisions where it was kind of like, no, 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 no. It was just very frustrating for me personally, the 2010 Oscars. But yeah, it was good to capture the 60s feel of Western. True Grit, I mentioned earlier about films that influenced me. True Grit actually influenced me too, because True Grit, I recognize the gun sounds. Like the gun sounds for that movie, I think are phenomenal. Like the sound mixing, it's just incredible. It's like, holy cow. Because I grew up with Westerns. Like Westerns were my bread and butter when I was growing up. So to see like a modern Western, that was like one of my first modern Westerns. Like, holy cow, the gun sounds. I'll never forget, every time I watch the movie, I'm still thoroughly impressed. Where they have the one scene where Barry Pepper, who plays Ned Pepper, he shoots the gun up in the air, and the gun doesn't go off, like the noise doesn't go off right away. It takes a little bit. And someone might be like, oh, well, that's like a flaw because it should go off right away. But it's like, no, but with guns, that's not true. It does take a little bit when you're far away. So I liked, actually, no, it wasn't Ned Pepper that shot it. It was Rooster Cogburn, my mistake, far away. And the noise came to Ned Pepper. He heard it. It took a little bit to get to him. So it's just details like that. I think the sound mixing was great. Paul, I'm on 1%. I might be gone in a bit. I'll join my phone. Oh man, that stinks. See, I'm on my laptop, so I'm hoping I reach 1,000 subscribers. Listen, I don't want to be that YouTuber that says like, oh, like here I need like a Patreon, or oh, I need this or that. But like hitting 1,000 subscribers would be nice. And hear me out. I'm not one of those people that's all about like subscribers, but there are perks to having 1,000 subscribers. You can have the community tab. So basically I can write out like, oh, this week I'm doing these videos just so you guys know what to expect. Or, the movie's coming out this day. So it's like stuff like that. When you reach 1,000 subscribers, you get those things. And so I am hoping to get to 1,000 subscribers, like maybe in a couple years, probably with my luck, probably 4 or 5 years. But I am hoping to reach 600 subscribers. My goal is in 2 years. I'm going to give myself 2 years for that. And then who knows? So that with the way that would be, I guess 6 years from now, maybe I'll reach 1,000 subscribers. But by that time, knowing YouTube, they'll probably be like, oh, it's actually 10,000 subscribers. We'll get the community tab. West Productions, yeah, I enjoyed that part as well. It's pretty cleverly done. Yeah, see, like, I know it's like, listen, I'm on live stream, so it's kind of hard to like fully explain, like I would have edited the first part out with what I was saying about the shooting. But yeah, it's just the sound mixing in that movie, I think, is so clever with the gunshots and Carter Burwell's score, which I think they didn't nominate it because I think in the end credits they used Leaning on the Everlasting Arms. And because of that, it got nullified for the qualification, which makes no sense. The score, though, combined with the gunshots, was incredible. Raphael Alonso, Ramsey, No Country for Old Men, Inside Llewyn Davis, Fargo, True Grit, Big Lebowski, Blood Simple, The Man Wasn't There at Some Point. So many good films. Yes. A Simple Man, I have so many people in the comments section for Coen Brothers that are like, A Simple Man is underrated. It's like, yeah, I said it in my review. I thought it was solid, but I agree. I agree. Paul Logan, nah, man, you have to get a million. That would be something. But people are too busy focusing on Logan Paul. Oh my goodness, I just want to throw my phone now. That's something I want to talk about, you guys. And again, I don't mean Paul, which refers to my username. Oh, that's hilarious, Paul. It should be reversed. That's hilarious. I'm not gonna lie. Listen, I'm gonna use this as a little bit of a preaching box now, so I apologize. But I am not gonna lie. I am annoyed that like videos have to be like really flashy to get views. There are subscribers that I'm subscribed to, Zach Pope, that are so what's the word clickbaity, and it's like I'm subscribed. I don't really watch his videos because I know that they're clickbaity, and it's like one of those things where it's like, listen. I'm not saying you shouldn't have like reviews that are well filmed, but when you are so focused on getting views that you base your opinion on those views, something's up. You know, like if you watch my videos, which you guys obviously do, you guys will see my opinions aren't always like on the green. Sometimes they're a bit controversial, and it's like I am not going to be one of those people that just kind of like falls in line with everyone else. If I think a movie's good, you will hear I think it's good. If I think a movie's terrible, you will hear my thoughts. That's why Portrait of a Lady on Fire, I wasn't saying it was the greatest movie of all time because my thoughts weren't actually like that. But again, I'll rewatch it. I'll give it a second chance. But yes, rant over. I just don't like the fact that that's how it is on YouTube. You have a lot of, in my opinion, a lot of people that just don't really pay attention. Like, I think a couple people that I would highly recommend you guys check out that I think are very underrated. Nobody really talks about them. Double Toasted. I think Double Toasted is a great channel. They have like 100,000 subscribers, which is a lot for me, but for a lot of other YouTubers, it's like, it's nothing. I think they're great. Defocus Lens, I think she's really good. She has like I think almost 20,000. She's really good. And Mr. Pond, and LC Screen Talk are also really good. And the thing with all these is that they're very diverse. They give a lot of viewpoints where it's like, oh, I learned something new watching their videos, and that's why I'm recommending it to you guys instead of just the usual like Chris Tuckman, Jeremy Jen. Which, no disrespect, I like them too, obviously, but I want to give them shout outs. Yeah, sorry, I had to use that as a soapbox. I apologize. Rafael Alonso Ramsey, favorite show on Netflix right now. Fudge. Don't on Netflix. As in, like, it just came out, or like that, just in general, like on Netflix. Because just in general on Netflix, Hannibal's on there. Hannibal's awesome. I haven't reviewed it because I haven't rewatched it, but man, that show is awesome. The fact that that was a network show, love it. It's incredible. House of Cards first couple seasons are great too. Stranger Things is okay. The first season is great, but the rest are just kind of okay. What other Netflix shows? Sex Education is solid. First season is great. Second season is okay. I'm trying to think what else is on Netflix. Twin Peaks. I think the first two seasons are on Netflix. Twin Peaks is great. I actually own that on Blu-ray. What else? Mr. Robot's not on Netflix. I would highly recommend Mr. Robot though. Paul Logan. Have you seen Undone on Prime? It's my favorite show. The creator also did one of my other favorite shows, BoJack Horseman. BoJack is on Netflix. Yeah, so BoJack Horseman I haven't seen. BoJack Horseman I've been meaning to see. I heard it's animated shows, unfortunately, are looked at as kid shows. Don't ask me why. I think it's so stupid. But they'll look at it as kid shows. They have the first season where they get you all warm and cuddly, and then after that, they get into the serious themes. I heard BoJack Horseman does that really well. And so I want to watch BoJack Horseman for that reason, as well as I think it does a really good job at anxiety and depression, focusing on that. From what I've heard, again, I haven't seen it. Undone, I haven't seen. I've been meaning to watch that. That's the Alex Garland show, right? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, but yeah, I need to watch that. Right now, in terms of what I've been watching, 6 Feet Under. Finally watching 6 Feet Under. I'm on the end of first season almost. And then with my girlfriend, I'm watching Veep. We're on the final season. And then let's see. That's about it, honestly. I've been watching a lot more movies lately with quarantine. But with TV shows, I do have a list of TV shows I need to watch. Newer TV shows, I'm waiting for Fargo to come back. Fargo season 4. Let's see. Westworld season 3 just ended. Outlander just ended the 5th season. I'm trying to think of other shows. I think there's something else. I feel like, let me check real quickly, guys. I apologize. Let me check. I feel like there's something else that I'm watching. I'm just forgetting about. Oh, Twin Peaks. I'm rewatching Twin Peaks. I finished the first season like a month or so ago, but the second season I've been meaning to watch. I think it's just because I remember the second season not being nearly as good. But what are you gonna do? Sorry, I'm looking right now to see if I'm watching anything else. I guess if I am watching something else, I guess it's not that good if I don't remember, right? Let's see my stuff. Uh, I have a lot of movies on my list. Ping Pong, it's an animated TV show. My one friend recommended it. It's on my list. Fleabag's on my list. Carnival. Um, sorry, I'm looking at. I have Downton Abbey on my list. But I only got like 2 episodes in Downton Abbey. I just couldn't. Maybe when I'm 50. Um, yeah, Hannibal is scary. Hannibal is crazy, man. Hannibal is like that's a show that I still can't believe it got a TV 14 rating. The fact that it did is just out of this world crazy. Sorry, I'm on Netflix. Eurovision. Oh gosh. Ah, I love Rachel McAdams. She's such a great actress. It's just kind of crazy that she's with Will Ferrell in this movie. I just don't know. My list right now is so crazy. I think it's kind of diverse. I have Eurovision, Ridiculous Six, Love, Gaspar Noé's Love is right next to it. Clueless, and then I have Brooklyn's Finest because I'm also trying to watch all of Antoine Fuqua's movies. Dear White People, I need to watch the movie and then the show. TV show Dark, Waco, One Day. I have a pretty diverse Netflix list, but why am I saying all this? Because I just think it's hilarious the fact that I have the Ridiculous Six on here. It's kind of ridiculous. But hear me out. Hear me out before I get snowballed on. You need to watch bad movies, in order to appreciate the good ones. And I feel like I really do need to watch The Ridiculous Six because I've heard it's terrible. So, let me see. Also, what do you think of Black Mirror? Good question. So Black Mirror, I kind of faded out. I think I saw the first 4 seasons, and then the latest season, the one with Miley Cyrus. I didn't watch. It's not that I didn't have any interest. I just never got around to watching it. I've heard it's good though. Gotta love David Lynch. Yeah, man, I love David Lynch. Very talented guy. Very talented filmmaker. Um, but yeah, so I think, guys, I'm gonna end the stream. Um, Maybe I'll do a stream soon, guys. I mean, if you guys have friends, which I know many of you probably do. Actually, all of you guys do. Everyone has friends. Um, I would highly recommend, just spreading the word, letting your friends know about my channel. Because what I'll do is maybe if I reach 500, because 500 it would be a pretty big deal for me too. If I reach 500, and then if I reach 600, those 2 milestones, I'll do like a streaming video. If you guys want me to do a streaming video before that, maybe I'll do that. I just need to figure out like a topic. Again, the last one I did, it was, quarantine, the beginning of that. So I just wanted to give you guys an update on it. And then before that, the Oscars. So I had reasons. So if you guys come up with anything else that you guys want me to do in terms of streaming, let me know. And yeah, besides that, guys, thank you very, very much for watching. Again, I really appreciate it. You guys are the ones that make this channel work. I really appreciate it. Hope you guys stay subscribed. Continue the comments. I apologize if I haven't, responded to certain comments. I'm trying to work on that, trying to get better with that. But nonetheless, you guys are the best. I appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys later.